there's another attack that the devil has because he comes at it from both angles. You know, he comes at it to attack the people who believe in science, where they really worship science. He gets them with this evolution Big Bang lie. But then he goes after the people that aren't into science, that don't believe in science, and then he comes at them with this flat earth stupidity, right? Teaching them that, oh, the earth is flat. And here's where I get infuriated, my blood starts boiling. Oh, the Bible says it's flat. No, it doesn't. It never says that. Show me that phrase in the Bible, the earth's flat. It doesn't say anything like that. The earth's a disc. It doesn't say that. So basically, what happens is, the devil now has this deception, and he's already pulled this out various times throughout human history, but it's in full swing right now, this flat earth crap. And I don't like using that word lightly, but that's what it is. It's a bunch of crap. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. And the bottom line is that this flat earth thing, okay, is for people who say, oh, we reject science. We're just going to believe the Bible. And the Bible says it's flat. But the Bible doesn't say it's flat. And they just basically throw out the baby with the bathwater and just reject all science. So instead of just rejecting the part that's a science falsely so-called, where we're talking about stuff that happened thousands of years ago, which we have no way of knowing, instead of just rejecting that part, they throw out the baby with the bathwater and just say, oh, well, science is a lie. We can't trust anything that science tells us. Okay, and then they go with the earth being flat. Now, here's the thing about that, though. You can prove that the earth is not flat thousands of different ways, very easy to prove, using empirical, observable data. And here's the thing, every single day it's proven. Every single day, people travel based on the fact that the earth is a globe. And no, it's not a ball. A ball is something that you play with outside as a toy. But it's a globe or a sphere. And the thing about that is that there are all kinds of routes every day where people drive in their cars or fly in a plane or go in a ship. And that route is based on a globe, and it only works on a globe. See, every map, like for example, look at that map right there, if you can see it where you're sitting. But that map right there is a picture of the earth. But is the earth really a flat rectangle like that? No, it's not. So is that map really accurate? No. There's another map. If you turn around and look at the entryway of our church right there, you see that map right there? That is a flat rectangle map of the entire earth. That is also grossly inaccurate. Can you see how Greenland is like the size of South America on that map? Do you think that that's really that big? Because it's not. Otherwise, they'd be calling it a continent of Greenland. It's not really that big, is it? No. So that map is grossly inaccurate. That is called, that map and that map, those are called the Mercator projection. Now, when I was in school, we learned about several different projections of the earth. Okay? Because when you take a globe, you can't make a flat representation of that. It won't work. So in order to flatten it, you have to stretch it out and bend it and tweak it and mess it up, which is why none of these maps are accurate. But they still have a place to kind of give us an inkling of where things are. But they're not really accurate. If you really want an accurate representation of things, you have to look at a globe. That's the only way to do it. Go grab me a globe, Brother Baker, out of my office. So you have to have a globe in order to show it. Now, if you want to check the distance from point A to point B, and actually see how far away things are. If you did it on that map, even if the map is to scale, because it's a Mercator projection or distortion, if you did it with a string and measured the string, that would not be accurate. That would not be an accurate distance. Okay. Whereas, if you took this globe right here, and you get the scale of the globe, where it tells you it's a 1 to 48 million scale, and, you know, basically this distance right here represents 96 kilometers, okay? If you actually took a string and stretched it over the globe, right, and took those distances, those would actually be perfectly accurate. And those are proven to be accurate every single day. Every single day. Now, this is why when you book a flight, even if you just booked a flight to the East Coast, it's always a curved line. You know, when you're sitting on the airplane, you want to see how far you are? Have you ever noticed it's never a straight line? It's always like a curved line, right? Everybody following me? If you went on Travelocity right now and just book a flight and say, I want to see the path or whatever, it's always a curved line. The reason why it's a curved line, it's not that the plane is flying in a curved path. The flight is flying a perfectly straight path. But because you're distorting the map to make it flat, and so that route gets distorted. Does everybody understand? You're flying straight as an arrow, but because the map is distorted, the line becomes a curve. Okay? But according to the flat earthers, no, it's all a big fraud, it's all a big scam, and none of that's real, it's all fake. And here's the thing, you try to talk sense into these people, they don't listen. They just want to talk and blow off their mouth, and they don't want to listen. And you try to give them facts, and they don't listen. You try to explain it to them. And here's what they'll do. They come at you with this flat disk map that's just flat. And in fact, they call it the flat earth, right? So wouldn't you think that they're saying it's flat? Just by that name, flat. Okay? So then they come at you with this flat map, and then it's like, you try to tell them, well, no, that doesn't work, because look at all these curved routes. And then they come at you with this map that's like a chips and dip bowl. Or like a bun cake. Who knows what I'm talking about, like a bun cake pan? They come at you with this one where it's like a dome in the middle, and then it kind of goes out like this. But it's like, wait a minute, you just finished telling me it's flat. And that we'd fall off the bottom and stuff. So are we all sideways on this little chip and dip bowl? So basically, when they want to, it's totally flat. But then when you call them out on that, it's like, oh, well, it's the bun cake. But then when you start talking about the curvature, they're like, there is no curvature, it's flat. It's like, oh, well, let's throw out the bun cake then and get the flat again. Because this is why. Listen to me. Because it's not real. Because they're making fun of you. Listen to me. The people who are behind this flat earth thing are not for real. They don't really believe in it. They are making an idiot of you, is what they're doing. It's a joke to them. They think it's funny. Now, they have a sick sense of humor, but that's what they're doing. I do not have any doubt about it. And what they're doing is they get gullible people to fall for this stuff. It's a hoax. And they're laughing their heads off. The people, I'm talking about the ringleaders of this. They are laughing their heads off that, wow, we can get people to actually fall for this. They know it's fake. Which is why when you try to call people out on this thing, either number one, they just kind of stonewall you and just keep switching models and just kind of just, oh, you're just trusting NASA and blah, 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 you know, blah, blah, blah. But, or what they'll do is they'll just be so ignorant that when you try to explain them the math and the science, it just goes over their head. You know, and it's really stupid. And then another thing, and look, this geocentricity thing, look, I'm not saying that if you believe in geocentricity, you're a complete idiot. If you believe in the flat earth, you are a complete idiot. Okay. Let me go on the record and say that. But look, if you believe in geocentricity, I don't believe that you're a complete idiot, okay? I can see how you could believe that, but it's false. And the thing is, I used to just kind of ignore geocentricity and just think like, well, whatever, who cares? It's not really that big of a deal. But it seems like geocentricity is like a gateway drug into the flat earth. You know what I mean? That's what's dangerous about it. It's the gateway drug. I'm serious, okay? So what you have now is you have people saying these stupid things like, what do you expect me to believe? We're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour? You know, I don't feel it. Okay, but here's the thing. Because, you know, the Earth's spinning, right? Okay? I mean, if we're going 1,000 miles an hour, I mean, you know? Or if we jump, we're going to land like, you know, a few feet over or whatever. But here's what they don't get, and I try to explain it to them. And they're like, why is the water so peaceful if we're spinning that fast? But here's the thing. Get on an airplane. How fast does an airplane go? About 500 miles an hour. Right? So if I get on an airplane and I'm going 500 miles an hour, I have a glass of water on my tray table, and it's very peaceful. It's not going anywhere. And I can jump up and down as many times as I want, and I'm going they're saying 1,000 miles an hour. The plane goes 500 miles an hour. So why can I jump up and down and keep landing in the same spot? Why is it not just... Because the reason why is because everything's moving. It's not just the Earth that's spinning, it's the atmosphere that moves with it. It's a pressurized cabin, as it were. Okay? Right? I mean, the air and the atmosphere and everything, it's all spinning, so it's all going the same speed. And here's how you know it's spinning. Because you can see everything moving. You can see the sun moving, the moon moving, and all the stars moving. Now, here's the thing about that. You say, well, how do you know that we're not standing still and everything around us is spinning? But that's about as ridiculous as saying, well, how do we know that the plane's not standing still and it's the whole world that's going by? Here's why that, and look, I know I'm getting on geocentricity tonight. And I hate this stupid subject. But it's the gateway drug, so I got to bring this up. You know, we need like dare to say no to this stuff, okay? So the thing about, what is it, MAD or Mothers Against Drunk, science or whatever. But anyway, here's the thing about it, okay? And I feel like I have to teach this stuff. Yeah. I don't like science that much, but I feel like I have to talk about science just because to make sure that people know what's up with this. So anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, the stars moving. Well, here's the thing about that. Okay, if the Earth is spinning, right, then it's going around basically about 1,000 miles per hour relative to its surroundings because of the fact that it's about 24,000 miles in circumference, roughly. So 24 hours in a day, 1,000 miles an hour. That's where that figure comes from. Okay. Well, here's the thing about that, though. Because the stars are far away, I don't care how close you think they are or how far they are. We can all agree that they're not that close. Right? Okay? And that the sun and moon are far away. Even if you don't believe what NASA told you. But anyway, even though these things were calculated long before NASA had ever even been thought of, okay, like thousands of years ago. But if things are really far away and we're supposed to believe that they're all moving, they would have to be moving at some incredible speeds. Do you understand? It's sort of like, and I'm trying to break this down for people. You're on a swing, right? Okay? Swing at the park. That chain is only like, what, 10 feet long, 8 feet long on the swing at the park? Okay, well, which links in the chain are moving the fastest? The ones at the top or the ones bottom? The ones at the top are barely moving at all, right? Now, what if I grab the swing, and in fact, I did this yesterday. I was at the park, and one of the swings was out of commission, because as Baby Steven said, some punk teenager must have thrown it over the top. So I walked up and I grabbed that swing and I threw it up and I swung it all the way around and it did a whole rotation. Well, here's the thing. The chains that were the closest to the pole, they only moved a little bit. They moved a short distance. Whereas the stuff at the end of the chain moved a really long distance, was moving at an incredible speed relative to the one that was in the middle. So if the Earth were staying put, then it would be like everything just like whoosh, at amazing speeds, incredible speeds. Okay, that's one thing. Now some people would say this, well, okay, well, which one's going around the other? Does it really matter? Just how you look at it. Sun, moon, sun and Earth, just how you look at it. But there's this problem of the fact that there's 7 or 8 other planets. They change it all the time because they're not sure what to call Pluto or whatever. But anyway, there's 8 other planets going around the sun too. That's kind of where this geocentricity thing falls apart. It doesn't work, okay? But again, it's just a throwing out of things that are observable. We actually can observe the stars, the sun, the moon. We can actually take a trip to Antarctica. We could actually go to Chile and look up at the sky in the southern hemisphere. And you know what you're going to see? A completely different set of stars that don't rotate around the North Star. They rotate at the Southern Cross. So that alone shows that if it was a globe, so look, the people in the north are looking at the stars that are over here, spinning, but it's actually the Earth that's spinning. And then the people on the bottom are looking at a completely different set of stars that rotate around a different point. Okay? But that's not what this flat Earth thing shows or anything like that. It's all stupid. And the bottom line is that the devil has got this left-right paradigm where he is going to just do anything except get you to believe the truth. Either he's going to get you to believe in all this weird evolution and Big Bang stuff, and maybe through the gap theory, or maybe just through atheism, or else he's going to get you to just completely reject even the good science and to throw out the fact that, the earth is even a sphere, which people have known for thousands of years to be true, because even in ancient Egypt, ancient Sumeria, they studied the stars. That man has always loved astronomy and astrology and the zodiac and all these things. Very well documented throughout history. They've known. So it's a left-right paradigm, folks. So what happens when you tell people, hey, the earth's a sphere? Oh, you must believe in evolution and the Big Bang, too. Oh, you don't like Obama? You must be a Bush fan. You must love Trump or whatever, Or, oh, you don't like the Republican Party? You're one of these long-haired hippies. It's a false left-right paradigm where you say like, hey, I don't believe in evolution. I don't believe in the Big Bang. And they're like, oh, you must believe the earth's flat. Oh, you believe the Bible? Then you believe in a flat earth. Now you can see how the devil would love this. Where you say, oh, I'm a Bible-believing Christian, and then that makes you a flat earther, which makes you an idiot to anyone who knows any math or science. It makes you just an imbecile. Or if you're over here saying, bless God, I believe the Bible and the earth's flat, then you just look like a retard to the whole world. Right. And either way, it makes this book look stupid. Yeah. And the devil loves it. It's a false left-right paradigm. It's a joke that's being played on Christians, where many Christians are getting on board with this, and it just makes Christianity look stupid. It makes the Bible look stupid. And this is, people like my wife, could have gone to hell because of this teaching, where she said, well, I know the Bible's not true because the Bible says the earth's flat. That's what they taught her in Catholic religious education class, that the Bible says the earth's flat, when the Bible says no such thing. So you can see how dangerous both of these doctrines are. So here's what we need to do, folks. We need to accept science, meaning things that we can actually see, observe, measure, test, calculate. And we need to reject science falsely so-called, which is theorizing about the past. Until we build a time machine to go back in the past, no one knows. Okay, and we need to separate science from science falsely so-called. But the devil wants us to merge these two things. These people over here, they want us to believe that they're one and the same. That if you reject evolution and Big Bang, you just don't believe in science. Isn't that what the atheists tell you? And then the flat earthers over here was, if you won't say that it's flat, you're rejecting the Bible or something. Because you must believe all that stuff. Either way, it's the same thing, and it's atheists that are behind it. It's the devil that's behind it, okay? And honestly, there's so many lies. I feel dumb even going on about it. But it's out there. But evolution is just as dumb. It's all dumb. Yeah. But it's a dumbing down of people.